Hello everybody, I'm Rynder, this is Rynder Plays, welcome back to EU4. But no, we are not starting a campaign as Brandenburg, I just chose him to load in this game, because I'm going to explain the game. I feel like I haven't done that, and I haven't done that. So I'm going to go over the whole basis of the game. And there is a reason why I actually went in as Brandenburg, but I will talk about that later. So, this main screen. To talk about the map, how the game works. So, look at Brandenburg. It's got provinces. Potsdam, Altmark, Ruppen, Uckermark, Berlin, and Sternberg. Every country has provinces. They can be conquered in wars, they can be taken back in wars, and they have cores. Now, a core costs monarch points, which we'll get into later. Okay, so, this top bar, here's our money. That plus is how much we make a month. Here's our manpower. That's basically, whenever soldiers die, they get replaced with manpower that we already have. Here's stability, which is very important. To keep the country together, it lowers rebellion. Here's prestige, which is also fairly important. And here's legitimacy. These are all important to keep, costs for stuff low, stuff like that. Here's power projection. Now, power projection allows us to get rulers. We'll talk about more about that later. And here is our peoples. So, we have 2 merchants. They do trade in the trade system. And in the trade system, people can't, there's different trade nodes, and there are each of these different things. And in a trade node that you have control, and this is also your control. Like, see, in Saxony, I have 6% control. Brandenburg does. So, with that, you can get monies and stuff like that. Basically about it. And they can, what traders can do is they can transfer trade to a node, or you can have them collect money in the node. It's usually pretty good to transfer trade. Okay, got that. Here are diplomats. They can do relations with other countries, like say Bohemia. I can improve relations with Bohemia, and it uses a diplomat. See, it says 1 of 2 diplomats free now. That means they're not doing anything. Then we also have a missionary, which he can change. Each province can have a different religion, and your country also has a base of religion. Brandenburg is Catholic. But someone say, like, in our Ottoman campaign, the Ottomans are Sunni. They're a different religion. So they change religions and provinces and stuff. You can like conquer provinces and stuff like that. Now to... Oh, I didn't realize I was playing. I don't care, because I'm not going to play this afterwards. So now we have here down here. These are all the different map types. They're not really important. Here's our map. Here's Holy Roman Empire. This is where it gets important. Now, when you're in the Holy Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire consists of this. Start. And Brandenburg is in this brown. But purple means emperor. Green means normal. Blue means a free city. That means if they're attacked by anyone else, the emperor will defend them. And Austria is one of the most powerful countries, so if I were someone down here, I would not. And then the brown. The brown are electors. What electors can do, they can choose who they want to be the next emperor. See? And Brandenburg is an elector. Okay, let's, and then we also have this. And this is only for Catholics. It's the Holy See, and it can be, who controls the papacy, and you can get, like, different things like that. And there's also papal influence. I have 0, but with papal influence, you can get, like, these. That are, like, helpful modifiers. Here's our army, and stuff like that. But here's rivals. We're going through these tabs, so, government. We're a duchy. You can't be a You can have a kingdom outside the Holy Roman Empire, but if you're in the Holy Roman Empire, Unless you're Bohemia, you are a duchy. Here's where you can hire advisors. You can just, hire an advisor. They cost money each month, but they can give you, like, well, whatever level they are, 1, 2, or 3, they'll add more to your monthly growth of monarch points. And I'll get into that. So, you will have a king, or if you're playing as a republic, a president, or something like that. What he does is he gets a certain amount of monarch points. That's why they're called monarch points. And these are how much you gain a month. So he has each monarch thing has a base of 3. And this is how many he adds onto it. You can also focus, like, say I want to focus on military. Press that, boing. Focus on military. It takes 1 off of each of these and adds 2 to this. That's kind of what this is for. Now we have diplomacy. This is where I can set rivals. And the good thing about rivals is if you defeat them, if you go to war with them and defeat them, you can choose something called humiliate, which gives you power projection. Or when you take land from them, you'll also gain power projection. Or if you insult them, like, I'll rival the Teutonic Order, for example, and then I'll send an insult. And I see I got 5 power projection from that. Because I insulted a rival. Which brings his liking of me down. But whatever. That's about... Also, you also have show opinions. So that's not that part. But here's the show diplomatic feedback. Clicked on them. So what you can do here is you can choose what provinces your neighbors and everyone else knows what you want. So say I want to conquer all the Teutonic Order. I can click on all these provinces, and it will let other countries know that's what I want. The ones in red and the ones in yellow, that's what I want. I want to conquer that. And I've done that in a few other series, so. Okay. Now to economy. This is a really important tab. So here's what you produce, and here's what the costs are. There's like advisors, interest, harbor fees. Harbor fees are if you ask for another country to give you naval access. That costs you money. And then you also have colonial maintenance. If you're colonizing, it costs money. If you're trying to convert a province to another country with a missionary, that costs money. The army costs money. And the navy costs money. Which you don't have, which is kind of sucky, but whatever. And that's how much you make a month. And you get money from tax, production, trade, gold, which you can only get if you have like a gold mine like Austria down here in Tyrol. Which is what also brings me to another point. We're now going to just focus on provinces. So, down here you can see what each province produces. So, cloth, wheat, silver, cloth. So, Brandenburg apparently makes a lot of cloth. And in a province, let's go back to Altmark, it shows your culture, your religion, total it makes you, the production it makes you, and the tax it makes you. It also shows development. Now, development basically makes your province better, and it costs monarch points. So, say I want to develop this province you want to find the cheapest because I might need another one. Sorry, I'm just looking for the cheapest to develop. I think it's Sternberg. Yeah, so say I want to develop military. Spend military, but it develops my province by 1. I also eventually do that in the Ottoman series. And here's autonomy. This basically controls your unrest. Now, I have -7 unrest here, so that's fine. But if you raise autonomy, it lowers the unrest, but it also lowers how much you get out of the province. Down here is your manpower and trade power. And this shows your node. You can also build buildings, which I'll show the buildings. Buildings basically, they cost like 100 ducats, between 100 and like 600 or 800 ducats to build, which monies. And they basically give good modifiers for your province. Okay, that's about it for that. So trade. So back to the trade thing. This shows different modifiers. Your trade efficiency, trade range, trade steering, global trade power, mercantilism, privateer, inland bonus, and then goods produced. And this shows in the different trade nodes who controls the trade nodes and how much each trade node gets. This also shows how much you get a month from trade. That's about it. Here's technology. Now this is where monarch points get very, very important. So with technology, admin tech, diplotech, and military. Each monarch type point gives you different stuff. So administrative allows you to do administrative technology, diplo with diplo technology, military with military technology. Another thing is, with admin power, you can core provinces. Basically, when you conquer a province, you have to core it. See, these are cored. Has considered this to be one of her cores. Apparently, I also have a core on the Teutons, being he conquered this or something like that. That's off point. And so, with Diplo, you can hire an admiral. Yeah, I don't have a navy, but I hired an admiral. And this also leads me to a point of what pips are. Now, pips are these little dots. And each one of these is different things. So siege, basically, how long it takes to siege a forted province. So some provinces will have forts. These take a lot longer to conquer. They don't see normal ones without one take a month to occupy. These take a lot longer. So if you have a siege leader, it makes it a little quicker. It also makes it quicker when later on you get cannons. Right now you only have infantry and knights. Eventually, at military tech 7, you start at tech 3 when you're Western. You unlock cannons. You can also make your general out of You can also make a general out of your king and out of your heir. Back to tech. So yeah, that's what pips do. Siege does that. Maneuver basically means you take less penalties when entering a battle when you cross a river or a strait. You get a penalty if you attack in bad terrain. Shock is good for, like, in the early game, shock is good because you're not using guns. You're using pointy, stabby things. But later on, you like fire because you eventually get to unlock guns, and I think it's like Tech 12 or something. For military, you unlock the first muskets. That's about it with pips. Over here you have, like, I'm already doing military, so I'm getting off topic. So, let's start with admin tech. So, these just, whenever you take the tech, you unlock a type of, government you can become. It also shows, for admin tech, you can also get idea groups, administrative efficiency, development efficiency, forced march better, and protection efficiency. When you get admin tech, you can also unlock buildings. All of them you can unlock buildings, and also you unlock like tactics and all sorts of like trade range for Diplo. Diplo has more to do with like ships. You have trade range. You also have colonial stuff with Diplo. In military, you have military stuff. You also unlock different units. And with trade, you can also unlock different boats. And with military, you can unlock flanking range, which is pretty cool. Military tactics. Land morale, which is great. Combat width, which I want to talk to you about that. And also supply limit. I want to talk to you about combat width. Combat width is how many soldiers in a battle line up together. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, each soldier is 1,000. You have 8 cavalry and stuff like that. So, with that, it can make it basically determines what you should have in each different type of army. And I'll get more into that. Actually, you'll watch that in the Ottoman series. Now we go to ideas. Now, ideas, you start off with 2 ideas. They're called traditions. You get 2 traditions, and that's about it. Now, when you unlock Admin Tech 5, you can take your first idea, and you have administrative ideas, diplo ideas, and military ideas. Sound familiar? They cost 400 apiece. One of these, depending on which group you're doing. And they give modifiers based on that group. That's about it. But when you unlock ideas, you get progression on these. These are ideas you can unlock from unlocking ideas. I know, it's like Matrix stuff. That's about it with ideas. And then you can take, these are missions and decisions. Now, you can take missions, and you can get, like, modifiers for completing them. I like doing that, especially with countries that, and it's really fun whenever you have, like, here, like, Reclaim Newmark. That gives me, basically, if I take that back, I get yearly prestige increase, +1, and manpower recovery speed, +10%. Policies you get from unlocking ideas. Basically, you can take that, drains whichever type it is by 1 per month, but it gives you a good thing. And then with this, you can, what you can do is you can, I'm going blank in my head. You can take decisions, which basically just give you a modifier. Now, stability and expansion. Now, with rebels and unrest, you never want to go in positive unrest. Unfortunately, you almost always do. With this, basically that is rebels. Now with expansion, you have colonial range, global settler increase. When you're colonizing, this is how far away you can either core, or you can set up a colony. And this one is how many a year go to your colony. Overextension is from when you get, if you take too much land, you'll get more overextension, and you reduce overextension by coring. Stability, it just gives a whole lot of bad negatives down there whenever you're low stability. War exhaustion you pick up during war, and they're also bad. And then there's disasters, which are horrible, and you'll see that in Lithuania. Here's religion. Now, different religions do different things, so I'm not going into that. Military. So with military, we'll start off with, like, these, they're kind of self-explained. They're already explained a little bit. But here's, like, this army tradition. What army tradition does is it gives, morale of army stuff and siege ability. What it also does is when you have higher army tradition and higher naval tradition, you can get a better leader when you click these. Land morale is good because it means you can take more in a fight. And force limit, that's the maximum amount of soldiers you can have. You get it'll cost a lot more money to have soldiers when you go over the force limit on army. Naval, it's not as important. Then there's military tactics. Military tactics just make your army better. Same with discipline. Defensiveness makes your fort stronger. Siege ability makes you, go through siege better. And then there's combat width. Oh, there's combat width right there. I didn't realize that. Whoops. Well, anyway. There's that. I look at this one. So. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Just thinking. Now I feel stupid. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, I was just thinking. But that's not that important there. I'm gonna keep my translate. And now, subjects that you can just have different things whenever you have a subject. Like, hold on, let me think. Can you take that, please? No. Okay, so, like, Muscovy. Muscovy has something called a vassal. Perm, Pskov, and Yaroslavu. No, I don't want an alliance on hold. I'm not even going to play this game, so I don't care. Yeah, if you can also have alliances, and you can accept that. And when you have an alliance, you basically have a guy you're friends with. That's about it. So apparently Aldenholt's my friend. You little down here. Okay, back to explaining this game. So, that was subjects, now estates. The estates, if you click on this map mode, it shows you which ones they control. And they give you modifiers and stuff like that. You can also like, you can take military stuff for that, and you can take all these sweet things. You can demand power from them. But that's about it. That's kind of all there is to explain about this game, I think. Really, I think that's about it. So, hope that helps a little bit. Didn't explain it all the best, but, you know, it'll help, I think. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, press like. If you want updates on my content, press subscribe. And as always, later, folks.